Do y'all remember when UI was fun? I'm talking down to the introduction of your console. We used to have this. And now we have this. We've gone so far into the direction of making things simple, quick, and snappy that the interface has really lost all character and doesn't feel like it belongs to the actual thing you're holding. Hi, I'm Tri, and today we're going to be talking Switch 2 UI, and I'll be putting on my designer hat to try and address some of the issues people have with the current Switch UI. I did graduate with a degree in graphic design with a UI UX emphasis, and although I'm early in my career, I still think I can provide some value to the conversation. So to get into it, when we compare the look of the hardware between the Switch and the Switch 2, we do kind of get the impression that this is the adult console. We've moved on from Super Weenie Hut Jr. tablet to Weenie Hut Jr., and now to a sleeker, regular, goofy goober. But this is still Nintendo. Nintendo aims to surprise and delight, and I don't think that they should save that company message for just their games. We need to translate this to their UI as well. Now, where to start? Before I just go crazy making design changes, it's always important to do research first. What are people saying about the current UI? What would they change? I'm not going to include every piece of feedback obviously, but I'll look at a lot of the comments and use my designer discretion to include what I see fit. Now, most of the complaints I've seen have been about the eShop, and that is such a beast. I'm gonna have to save that for a whole nother video. Let me know if y'all would be interested in something like that in the comments. I'm seeing a few people say they think themes would be silly and that it would not be beneficial, and to that I say look at the majority of Nintendo fans who would willingly add the theme of their choice to the system. And this is what's great. For you naysayers that want no theme, we've got two great options for you. Basic black and basic white. User choice is very important, and if we're able to make everyone happy, we should try. Themes are something that shouldn't change the fundamentals of UI, but add nice packaging and style that encourages personalization and identity. The Switch has made bouncing between games on its interface very snappy, which is appreciated, but there is still so much time being spent on the home screen if we're waiting for a game to download, waiting for a friend to hop on, or just leaving it on because we aren't sure what games we want to play. Make the UI feel like a home for our games for those that want it, aka me and many others, and a snappy game presenter for those that don't. We can have both. Next, I'm seeing a lot of comments about wanting folders back, and I completely agree. The 3DS had this wonderful folder system where you could name the folders and keep a collection of games in there for easy access and grouping. The Switch did eventually add a group system, but you have to scroll past all your software and it's just too out of the way to get to. Put folders on the home screen. Honestly, those were the two biggest complaints. Again, besides fixing the eShop. So, without further ado, let's see what I came up with. So two of the biggest changes you might notice are these wonderful gradient accents we have on the side, as well as the background image. Oh fun, background image to go with the game you're playing, you might be thinking, right?
Wrong!
I don't know why the SpongeBob references keep coming this video, but I'm not upset about it. The image will be based off the theme you select. In this instance, it's Tears of the Kingdom, but you could change it to be Mario Odyssey or Super Smash Bros. Themed. I also added these gradients on the side to reflect the colors of the new Joy-Con controllers. Pretty cool, huh? Because the colors are accents on the physical device, I thought it would be nice to have a visual indicator on the home screen as well. And this could be swapped with any other colored Joy-Cons that are eventually created too. Want to go green and purple? Gold and emerald? Yellow and pink? For you SpongeBob fans out there? So there you go, probably the biggest and most prominent changes, visually anyway. And if you look at the Mario and Hollow Knight graphics, we have folders. Towards the end of the 3DS Life, apparently you could put icons on the folders, and it's so much better than just the single character it used to be. I also think you should be able to adjust the color to whatever fits the vibe and edit the title on the folder itself. The Switch 2 screen is much bigger than the 3DS screen, so putting your labels on folders should be no problem. I also think it's nice to just know how many games are in it. Okay, next I guess we'll talk about the games themselves. The cartridge they come in is rectangular, so I thought it would be nice to get a similar shape as that or even the boxes we see them in stores. We also love to know our stats on the games we play, so I had to include that right below the title of the game. I also think it's smart to have the buttons and labels for what you can do right next to the actual game. So if you want to close or continue the software, it's now right below the game as opposed to on the very bottom. Now if you were to play a game like Splatoon, you could have an invite to the game. Rather than click on your profile to get there, it should also be included on the home screen for easy access. You may also press the C button for this if that's what Connect is going to be for. I wasn't sure though, so I made it the Y button. If you do have an invite waiting or something online related, you'll see that little green notification dot above it. This is something the Switch already does, and the 3DS used to have green for Street Pass and blue for online activity, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I left the menu mostly the same, except I got rid of the news section because I hate it, and I replaced it with the Nintendo Music app. This will be something that could tie into themes or just be its own separate thing for Nintendo Online members to add music to their home screen. This experience really brings that personalization home. If they had made themes for purchase, maybe it would include a song instead of people having to subscribe to Nintendo Online, but chances are they're going to want to monetize this. I left the profile and the system information on the top left and right the same because, again, I don't feel like they need to be changed. They're subtle and out of the way. I did want the menu bar to not take up as much real estate to let the background image shine a bit, so I added a bar instead of having them individually be circles like the Nintendo Switch. I also made that bar slightly translucent, so the background image again comes through a bit more. If I were to change anything, I'd probably add a way to make game selection a grid like the 3DS for even easier access to games, but I think 6.5 games or folders being visible is a vast improvement to the Switch's 4.5. If you have suggestions for what you'd add or change, let me know in the comments. This was a very fun video to make, as it's right at my wheelhouse and tested my skills as a designer. We're also so freaking close to 1,000 subscribers, just a bit more and we're there. I'd really love your support. It motivates me a lot to keep putting out content on a consistent basis. If you liked this video, check out my playlist about Switch 2. Also check out my other latest video about Super Nintendo World and what I'd love to see out of a Zelda expansion. Thank you all so much, and as always,
Thank you for all your support!